Good morning, my dear friends. I am Professor Shivayogi Patil, your training and placement officer. So, welcome to my new video. This new video, I am going to discuss a new topic. Already, we have covered the leadership skill topics. What are the skills you require to become a leader? Because leadership is very, very important. If you have leadership qualities, even without any qualification also, you can survive in this tough world. So leadership skills are very, very important, and we have already discussed about it. Another important thing, especially for the graduates who are looking for lucrative jobs, so with big salaries and all, so they need, apart from the leadership skill, of course, leadership skill, the leaders also should have this, that is called communication skills. So even a leader should be good at communication skill. If he lacks communication skills, he fails to influence the people. Leadership is all about how you influence the people, how you pursue the people, how you bring the people's mind to your point of view, how you can sell your product, so how you can sell your service, how you can change your mindset so that he will take orders from you. So he will happily work under you. So this is all are the traits of the leadership, and this is possible only if you have a good communication skills. Now, just give me a minute so that I can open the PPTs. I will start with the PPTs. So I hope you are all looking at the PPTs. PPTs are visible. So let me start with the slideshow. So communication skills. Now look how communication skill is important, because whenever you go to apply for a job, whenever you apply for a position, a good position, so what people ask is how good you are in your communication skills, how good you are in communication. Now, what is communication actually? So a lot of people think that communication is just a fluency in a language, especially English language, because of course, English language is very, very essential to survive in this job market. All the companies, big companies, and especially MNCs use stress to the person who is fluent in English. There is no doubt about it. But that is only, will that constitute the communication skill? The answer is no. So communication skill, let us understand what is exactly communication skill. Communication is nothing but the transfer of information between two persons, or one person to a group of people, or one person to a group of audience, or something like that. That is communication. You wanted to tell something to another person, or a group of person, or audience. That is called addressing the audience. So you want to pass on some message, some information to audience, or you want to share your knowledge to the audience, or a group of people, or even single people. This process of sharing the information, giving the information, passing on the message, or transaction of message between the two persons can be called as the communication. So, but communication skill, when we call it as, so communication skill not only involves just passing on the information, you should also get the required response or anticipated response from the other person. Anticipated response from the other person. Otherwise, it is a failed communication. Suppose if you want to tell some person some work, so that person should do that work obediently or friendly or whatever it may be. He should do that work. So otherwise, your communication fails. Your communication fails. It is a failed communication. So in neuro-linguistic programming, communication is defined as the success of communication is nothing but the reaction of the or response of the opponent who is hearing it. So If the response is not proper, if the reaction of the people is not proper, so your communication fails there. So you should articulate your message in such a way that there is a clear understanding, there is a clarity in your message, so that the audience or the opposite person or the group of persons will understand your words, your sentences, your message at the exact meaning of that message, and without any doubt, without any ambiguity. Lot of time we say something and they understand something, and most of the time they make up their minds in such a way that they want to listen, they will listen what they want to listen. Otherwise they won't listen. Even in the classroom also, students, so they will listen only what they want to listen, and rest of the other things they will just forget it. So therefore, that is the communication failure. Because communication is all of not only about passing on the message, even passing on the message is also important, because you are giving some information, you are giving some order, you are giving some work to your subordinates. So if they don't do that work, if they don't do that work happily, so you have to force them, then there is a communication failure. So you have to articulate your message in such a way that in persuasive way. Communication, the part of communication is persuasive communication. You should pursue the other person to obey your order, especially marketers. So those who are in selling field, to sell anything, first you have to pursue the audience or pursue the person who is the buyer, you can say, or the customer. So to pursue him, first you have to establish rapport. First you have to establish rapport, because normally people for new things, they close their mind. They have always closed their mind for the new things, or especially when you are negotiating with a salesperson. Normally we don't want to, we are not in a mood to listen. So somehow you have to establish rapport. Somehow you have to build a relationship. Rapport is nothing but building a good relationship. So rapport can be established within 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. So once you establish a rapport, his mind opens. Once his mind opens, he become an active listener for whatever you are telling. Then you can sell a product. For selling also, you need to understand his problem, what exactly he want. Just don't selling is not just pushing something so that he is he buy it forcefully. No, that is not the actual communication. Communication is nothing but it is your ability to pursue him, or your ability to create a want in him to purchase that product. So for that, you have to establish a rapport. You should understand his problem, because customer is nothing but he is a person who comes to you with some problem. For that problem, he need a solution. So even if he is purchasing a computer or mobile, why he is purchasing? Because he wanted a solution to his problem. So you have to understand his problem, you have to understand his financial background, you have to understand the budget restrictions. According to that, you have to pursue him to, or you can sell him a product. So that is what is all about communication. Now coming to yesterday also, in the yesterday's video also, I have told you all these things, and in the classroom also, BCE classroom, I have told. If you don't have, there are 3 categories of salary package you can get. In local market, you will get 7K to 12K. Whether it is a BCA or BBA or BCom, it is same, 7K to 12K. Normally, an ordinary company. Of course, if the company is big, if the company is multinational, then starting package may be 12K to 25K. But here the expectation is more. Definitely, the expectation for second packet is more. So this 7K to 12K, maybe you may be a salesperson. You may be a front desk operator. So in such cases, of course you need to have fluency of English in most of the companies. For some companies, fluency in Kannada is sufficient, or your mother tongue, fluency in your mother tongue is sufficient. So if you want just fluency, either in mother tongue or in English, definitely everybody will have some kind of fluency. You will get a 7K to 12K job. But if you have good communication skill, good leadership skill, very soon you can move up from this package to this package. Leadership skill also you need to have, communication skill also you need to have. And mostly this package will be given to marketing persons, those who sell cars, those who sell mostly car and other such costly products. So the selling person or marketing person need to have leadership policy also, need to have good communication skill also. He need to establish rapport with the customer, understand his problem, his budget and his requirement, and according to that he should suggest a car within his budget, within his this thing. So that is all about this thing. Now if you want to move again to in the ladder to this category where you will get a job salary of 25,000 onwards, there is no upper limit to this. Okay, so then you need to improve your leadership, you need to improve your communication skills. So most of the very big companies can offer this in local market also. And in Bangalore, if you have a good communication skills, if you have good leadership skills, if you show, then definitely you can get this salary package. 25K onwards, you can grow here unlimitedly. So even if you join here, you can grow to this package, then this package to this package, if you go on improving yourself in leadership qualities and communication skills. So that's all I wanted to say today. Then coming to real communication skills, the real part of the communication skills. See, there are two types of communication. One is verbal and another is non-verbal. See, verbal communication is what you express from your words. So that is the verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is what you express from your expressions, body language, gestures, hand movements. So that is all non-verbal. So language is not involved in non-verbal. Language is the main thing in verbal. So when you are talking to somebody face to face, it becomes verbal communication. Or when you're talking with telephone with somebody, then also it becomes verbal communication. But non-verbal communication is very important when you are talking to someone, when you are pursuing someone. So when you are selling to someone face to face also, it is very important. And when you are addressing a group of people, when you are passing on message to a good group of people, your body language, your gestures, your facial expression, your tonality, so your modulation of the voice, your up and down of the voice frequency, everything matters. So a good speaker need to know how to have a positive body language which suit the subject, as well as he should know the kind of gestures he had to show, kind of facial expressions you need to have, so that the message is understood by the audience in its correct form, and they will listen actively. They don't get bored. So holding the attention of the audience is very important for a public speaker. So you should start well, you should have a good attention holding middle session, and you should have a good end also, climax also. So beginning, middle part and climax both should be attention grabbing. So we'll see it in the public speaking skills. So for that, you need to have verbal communication and non-verbal communication. So some experts say that non-verbal communication is 70% and verbal communication is only 30%. How you show the positive body language, gestures, facial expressions, your tonality change and all those things, your tone, modulation of voice, that accounts to 70%, whereas the words you utter from your mouth is only 30%. Message you pass on. So that is only 30%. Apart from this, there is something called written communications. So you are writing a book. So how you write a book? You are passing on some message in the form of story, or in the form of history, or in the form of motivation. So you are passing on a message, or you are influencing someone, or you want to tell some story. So whatever it may be, it is a written communication. Books are written communications, magazines are written communications, and email. Very, very important now in today's, how to write an email, effective email, so that you can pass on the message, you can pursue the other person to purchase your product, something like that. So that is very, very important. Those are all comes under written communication. We will discuss about these things, that is email, how to write a good email, so that the, what you call it as, the recruiter will be impressed by your email. So even resume, the cover letter of the resume can be email also. Visualization. So you can use visual tools like graphics, charts, cartoons, videos to convey your message. So that is also comes under communication skills. So you need to have all these qualities, and you need to practice actually all these things to become a good communicator. You can see here, see, communication skills is useful in teamwork, presentation, negotiation, very, very important, because negotiation is the backbone of the company, because every company sells some products, sells some services, and there is a negotiation involved in it. If you are a good negotiator, you can very well grow in that company. If you are a good persuader, you can very well grow in the company. Negotiation means not only pursuing the other persons to purchase your product or the price what you are quoting. It is not only that, but sometimes you need to purchase from other companies. There also you have to negotiate, so that if you will get that product at the cheapest of the rate. That is also negotiation skills. Business writing skills. You need to write letters to companies. You need to write letters to various HRs, and also that also comes under this. Influencing skills. What I told, communication is all about influencing. Leadership is all about influencing other people. If you can influence other people, there is no limit to the success you can achieve. See, all these people who have earned in crores and all these babas and all, what they are influencing the people and earned so much of money, including Sadhguru, Ravi Shankar. Of course, they are doing some noble duties, some divine duties, but how they build that kind of empire, rich empires, because of their influencing skill. And in that influencing skill, their communication skill becomes very, very important. Then cross-cultural communication, you need to learn this also, because if you join a multinational company, there will be people from all part of the country, and even maybe outside the country may be there. Their culture is different. So their traditions are different, their dressing sense, their talking styles may be different. So you need to actually, you need to work with them. So you need to cooperate with them. You need to have that cross-cultural communication ability. Then win-win conversations. So win-win conversations means, like, you are negotiating. So your negotiation should be such that neither you should be in a loss, nor the opposite party who is selling to you should be in a loss. Whether in selling also, it comes into picture. Win-win situation means both the parties, because in communication there will be at least two parties. So there should be have a win-win feeling in both the parties. That is the successful communication. Otherwise, it becomes cheating. If you put something on to somebody which he doesn't want, or you put it at a price which is higher than the market price, then you are cheating. So cheating is not a good communicating this thing. So therefore, there should be win-win situation. He should also be happy. You should also be happy. Selling skills, again, influencing skills, then win-win conversations, presentation skills, negotiation skills, all comes under the selling skills. So these all needed along with teamwork for a person as an employee to success and as a job candidate to success in the interview. Anything in this regarding may be asked in the interviews. So again, I will go on. There is something called a communication gap. See, we say that the generation, latest generation is or Gen X, what we call it as. They are behaving like this. They are not as good as us, something like that. It is purely communication gap. Communication gap means you are failing to communicate properly with them, and you are not communicating enough sometimes, or you are not communicating in a way they understand you properly, so that there is a good rapport, good relation established between them. It is all about the relation. Life is all about the relation. So let us not bother much about this. See, today our discussion points are beginning, listen, focus, pay attention to non-verbal cues, intention-based communications, assess, feedback. Feedback is also a part of the communication. Learn to disagree. Learning to disagree also part of the communication. Respect, choose the right venue, use surveys, assign tasks, never assume, much more, and much more. So those are the things what we are learning today. Now, I will start the communication from the corporate point of view. Suppose you get into a corporate. So how you grow in the corporate becomes the main important point, and it is also depends upon these things. You need to have listening skills. You need to listen patiently, attentively to the customer or to the subordinate with, so, or with boss, your boss, or with any higher officer. Employee wants to know their, see, for example, she is explaining something to the customer. Employees want to know that their concerns and ideas are being heard. Because, see, you go to a showroom, if the selling person, the marketer there, if he doesn't respond to you properly, you will just come back and never go to that showroom. Lot of people, showrooms fail because the sales people are ignorant of their communication skill, or they are not incapable of that particular job. So I have also experienced when I visit some mobile shop and all. In some mobile shops, the selling persons, see, they show they are not ready to talk to you properly, explain the features. So they were there in their own world. So something like that. That is the failed communicator. Those are the failed sales people. So listening is active listening of the problems of the customer and explaining him so that he feels listened. He feels listened. That is very, very important. Focus. You need to focus, giving full focus to the conversation. So whenever you are in conversation with the other person, you need to give full focus to that. Pay attention to non-verbal cues. So whenever you are negotiating with somebody, or whenever you are influencing somebody to do something, you need to know the other person's body language also. Non-verbal cues means they are all about the body language, how his facial expression, what are his eye movements, what are his hand movements, what are the gestures you do. So whether he shows calm and coolness or impatience. So all these things you need to observe, and according to that you continue your conversation. If you show some signs of uninterest or impatience or boringness, something like that, you have to make him or you have to leave that conversation there and you have to change the topic. You should have some casual talk, and again you have to make it interesting. So that is the art of communicating when you are negotiating with some people. Practice intention-based communication. Every communication should need an intention. In Kannada, we say something called as hard horte. ಹಾಳು ಹರಟೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಏನೇನೋ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋದು. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಸೊ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಇನ್ ಗಾಸಿಪಿಂಗ್, ಯು ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಇನ್ the talking which doesn't have any goal, which doesn't have any outcome, positive outcome which will help you. So therefore, when you are in a company, you should not involve in such talks with others. So that is a waste of time. You are wasting the company's time also, your time also. Therefore, practice intention based communication. So whether you are dealing with a customer, whether you are dealing with your boss, whether you are dealing with your co-workers, assess your audience. When you are going for public speaking, assess your audience. See, if the public speaking is all about training, then you need to know what people exactly want. That should be outcome of your training. See, there is something called training need analysis. Training need analysis. Suppose you have become a trainer. So some company want assign you to train their workers. First, you have to ask the CEO of the company or HR person of the company, what are the needs, where the those workers lacking in efficiency or something like that. What points I need to stress in the workshop. So they will tell you, because since they are assigning you for training, there must be some purpose. They want the workers to efficient, more productive, so their efficiency increase. Some outcome they are in the mind. So they will tell the anticipated outcome or required outcome. According to that, you have to prepare your topic, your slides, your presentation and all, so that it will help you to train the people. Training meaning changing the behavior of the people. Therefore, training is conducted as a workshop. Workshop is imparting some skill and changing the behavior of the audience. That is exactly training is. So for that, you need to assess your audience. Choose the right venue. Right venue. For example, you are negotiating. You are a car salesman. You are negotiating. So first, of course, car will be there outside. You need to show them the model of the car. You need to explain all the features of the car. Then when it comes to convincing him, influencing him, and giving the quotation, you need to call him in the office, make him to sit in a comfortable chamber cabin with comfortable chairs, offer him a glass of water, and even some casual talk also helps. Establish a rapport with him. Then you talk about the maybe future of the car also, and you may communicate the price. So why the price is high, why the price is low. So you can start negotiating with, unless and until if you stand in the if you start negotiating outside only without making him comfortable, that negotiating may fail. So therefore, a good salesman, what he does, he explains the features of the car outside, but once it comes to persuasion and making the client to make up his mind to buy it, he will call inside, make him comfortable. Normally, in a Maruti showroom or Honda showroom, if you go, when you come out inside and sit, they will offer a cup of coffee or tea. So that is to open it your mind, or open to make you relax, and then the salesperson will establish a relationship, rapport with you. Then he will start pursuing you to purchase the car. Emphasize respect. So always respect the see, very very important. Respect your coordinates. Of course, boss, you have to respect your customers. Your customers, Gandhiji has said, customer is the king. So customer is always right. So you have to first agree to him. Then you can change his views if he does something which is not acceptable by you. But still, you have to agree to his viewpoint. So then slowly you can establish rapport with him and you can change the viewpoint. Therefore, respect. So he may not be very well dressed. Don't underestimate him. So don't see Kannadadalli antare ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಖ ನೋಡಿ ಮಣೆ ಹಾಕು. So that should not be the case of a salesperson or a marketeer or a CEO or a leader or even the boss also. They should know how to give respect to the customers, because their company runs because of the customers. Many banks the bank employees, they are not following these things. So banks are losing the revenue. Of course, if it is scheduled bank, government will handle it. So in such, especially in scheduled bank, there are bank employees who behave very badly with the customers. So customers become frustrated, and they may shift to some other banks, private banks. So giving respect is very, very important. Sometimes you have to learn to disagree without being disagreeable. Sometimes you may be talking to group leader. Group leader may tell something, and you may not be able to agree. You want to say no. So you should also say no in such a way that he should not be offended. He should not be offended. He should not feel that he should not feel that you are outrightly rejecting his idea, you are outrightly rejecting his offer, you are outrightly rejecting his order. That should not be the feeling in you. You should tackle the situation very with your good communication skills, very intelligently, very amicably, so that it is called as disagreeing without being disagreeable. So every leader, every good communicator should have this quality. Provide constructive feedback. Feedback is also very, very, very important. Feedback will help other person also and help you also. For example, you are a public speaker. After your presentation is over, you need to take the feedback. That feedback will give you the actual success or failure, actual where you want to improve yourself. All those points it will give you. Similarly, you need to give others. So feedback should be constructive. Just for the sake of criticizing, you should not give criticizing feedback to anybody. So that will demoralize. Even with your co-workers, even with your subordinates, you should not give demoralizing feedback. It should be constructive, so that they will improve upon the performance, where what are the weak points and all those things they should realize and they should improve upon, or they can improve upon. Ask for honest feedback. That is very, very important. Honest feedback, especially if you are a public speaker, if you are a presentation operator, ask for honest feedback so that you can know where you are lagging. Nobody is perfect. So if you want to see, it takes thousands of times of practice to become very fluent without talking, without any mistakes. That much of practice, but till then you need to take feedback, and according to that you need to improve. Use surveys also. Surveys means normally, usually, and after the training, everybody gives you a feedback form that can be called as the survey. So there will be some questions you need to mark. Just multiple choice will be there. You need to take it, or something like, was this session good? Did you understand fully? Was it clear to you? Something like that. So use the surveys to give you feedback, so that you can improve upon the points. Explain why you are assigning a specific task. It is very important if you are a team leader. See, as a team leader, delegation of work to suitable person in a team is very, very important. You have to spot the talent required for that particular work, and you have to give them. And you also tell them why you are assigning that particular task to that person only, because that particular task may be difficult, may be time consuming, may be energy draining, but you want to give to this particular person because he is good at that. So you need to pursue him. You need to explaining that you are good at this thing, you are very good at this thing. So that's why I'm giving you. Otherwise, if I give to somebody else, they will not do the job. So you have to praise him. So you have to influence him so that he will agree to take the task. So that is why explain why you are assigning a specific task. Never assume or prejudge anybody. So this is the biggest mistake we do when we are communicating some people, or when we are addressing audience. We underestimate their requirements or their mentality and all. So don't prejudge. Like, for example, somebody is sitting. So we are judgmental about it. He may not listen. He may not buy. He may not buy with us. Our prices may be higher. For example, if a person comes with a simple dress, he may be asking a quotation for a luxurious car. So you should not judge him because he may be in simple dress, but he may be a millionaire. He may be a millionaire. So don't prejudge. Whatever requirement is there, you just ask him and give the quotation. Then if he shows that he will show that it is not within his budget, then you can go for other cars, lower end cars or something. So whatever he wants, first give the quotation, first try to pursue him, understand him properly, understand his financial condition, understand his requirement. So then you give. Welcome questions. So especially good for faculties, presentators, public speakers. You need to ask questions and get the and answer them properly in a proper manner, so that any doubts if the audience have, it will be clear. Don't make it personal. See, negotiation, whether you are negotiating or whether you are giving order, whether you are delegating some work, don't make it personal. Don't make it personal. So the opposite party should not assume that he has something personal grudge with me. That's why he is assigning this work to me. So that should not be there. So even if you become angry with someone and you are scolding him, then last word what you have to use is, don't take it personally. For the well-being of the company, I am ordering you, I am talking like him, talking like this to you, because since you have committed this mistake, I have to scold you, I have to fire you, but there is nothing hard feeling, there is nothing personal in it. So something you need to convey him. Otherwise, it will lead to many bad sequences. Solving problems as a group, not that important from your point of view. So, okay, solving problems is a group work. So you have to take new ideas. You have to take ideas from your teammates to solve that problem. Give and receive criticism impartially. Criticism is also very, very important. You need to have critics so that ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗಾದೆ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಣೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವೀಕ್ನೆಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. When somebody criticizes you, if that criticize is very prejudiced, then it is waste criticize. But if it is constructive, if he really want to tell you something where you are lacking, then take that criticism sportively and try to improve upon that weakness. Therefore, give and receive criticism impartially. So see, most people, they take few people's criticism sportively, but few people's criticism they take with grudging attitude, because there is no good relationship with those people. So therefore, whoever that, see, first stop being judgmental, stop being prejudiced, and see everybody equal with an open mind, sit with an open mind, and if there is any criticism, take it sportively. Set up monthly one-to-one conversation to establish rapport with your team. This is also, you have already learned it in the leadership skill slides. So establish rapport with all your what you call workers. Schedule weekly team meetings, so to express your ideas, to plan for future quarter, so future months, coming months. So, and to discuss about the company's performance, whether it is in a loss or whether it is in a profit. So why it is in loss, why it is in a profit. Everybody should understand what is their role in their loss, what is their role in their profit. So see, taking when there is a profit, taking the credit, everything on him. When there is a loss, so putting on your that is a bad leadership. So my dear friends, schedule weekly team meetings if you are a leader, if you are a team head of a company, and then explaining everything, how the company is behaving, how the project, whether it is completed or not. If not completed, what are the problems the team is placing. You ask them, take the feedback and try to help them. So if they are not able to complete the project within the stipulated time, ask him what are the difficulties. I will help you out. I will call an expert to train you, something like that. Follow up in writing. So following up for a salesperson is very, very important. Suppose a person visits your car showroom and he takes the quotation, you pursue him, he shows the interest, and immediately nobody purchases. He tells that, okay, I will come on this day. I'll just go over it, and something like that he will tell. Then immediately first you have to send an email thanking him for visiting your showroom. That is the first thing. Then you have to have regular follow-up, either through email and better through what you call it as for telephone. So follow up through telephone, follow up through writing also. You may send, if there is any festival in between that negotiations, so you can send greetings through email. Be brief and specific. Your communication should be brief, to the point, and specific. Whatever message you want to pass on, articulate that message in such a way that it is brief and specific. Don't waste anybody's time. Think before you speak. This is very, very important, because many people just make statements without bothering what is the consequence and all. Whatever, see, because different people have different temperaments, different people will come to the office with a different mindset based on their previous experience, what happens that day in their house, something like that. So mindsets and temperaments will be different. So if you want to speak something or order something, so think before doing that. So use pause. Pause is very, very important in communication. Use pause very effectively so that the opponent will understand the message very clearly and concisely. Check in regularly. Okay, not that important part. Put in consistent effort. Your efforts, whatever efforts you do, follow up, feedbacks, communication, influence, whatever I have told you, it should be consistent till the customer makes up his mind to purchase your product. You should not lose interest. If customer doesn't show interest in second call or third call, still you have to you should be consistent till customer tells you bluntly that no, I don't want to purchase this product. I have already purchased a product in different showroom or an alternative product, something like that. Keep workflow transparent, not important. Assess your current internal communication strategy. Sometimes you need to change your communication strategy because there may be a new boss, there may be a new employee, there may be a new co-worker, there may be a new sub-worker, subordinate. So who is having different temperaments, something like that. So strategy you need to change. Use a team communication app. So there are many communication apps which are used to help you to send messages, greetings, and other things. So WhatsApp is also one communication app. So you can use them. Always share important news, very important. Okay, I think hold internal department lunches, because some factory or an industry or a college have different departments, and sometimes even different departments need to be established rapport within themselves, because ultimately they are all working for the organization. So therefore, the performance of all the departments will contribute to the performance of the organization. Therefore, hold internal department lunches. Be transparent and authentic. Don't hide anything. Be transparent and authentic also. Authentic means whatever you tell, whatever you convey, that should have an evidence. Evidence-based speaking, evidence-based writing. So if you make some point, that point should have an evidence. So that is authentic. Then be transparent means you should not hide anything, any information. Rearrange your office, not so important. Improve your written communication, very important. So you may have to write letters, different type of letters, leave letter, resume writing, then persuading the customer to have your product, something like that. So improve your written communication. We will practice it at the college. Send out an internal newsletter. So most of the companies have their newsletter. Send them. Schedule a work retreat. So again, it is a retreat means, so what you call it as a entertainment or a recreation, what we call it as. So this will help to establish good relationship with your co-workers. Do team building games. So in IT companies, there will be many such entertainment sessions on the Friday afternoon. So there will be team building exercises, there will be retreats, there will be entertainment programs for building the, so to taking the moral of the employees to up. Handle conflicts with diplomacy. Conflict resolution should be the main strength of the leader as well as any person. So diplomacy means you should there should not be any hard feelings between the party. So if there are any hard feelings, if there is arguments, they should calm down, and those hard feelings should be removed. That is called diplomacy. Humble, diplomatic, something like that. Encourage sharing, input, and dialogue. Encourage your teammate to share their ideas, their input, their dialogue. So help them or influence them to talk, give their ideas. Make your team believe in your goal. So if you have to believe in your goal, as well as you have to make your team to believe in your goal, in your dreams, then only they will work harder. Identify common communication barriers. What are the communication barriers in your company? There may be communication barriers. So identify those communication barriers. Maybe some people may not be showing some interest. Some people may have some emotional problems. Some people may be suffering from stress. So some people may have like showing negative body language, showing uninterest in your communication. Identify and try to correct them. That is called as identifying the common communication barriers. Be assertive. You need to be assertive. So you need to push him to do the work without having any hard feelings. Clarify tasks and responsibilities. You have to clearly mention what are his tasks and what are his responsibilities, as well as for what things he is accountable. Do communication training. Communication cannot come that easily. You need to undergo training yourself also, and you have to train your subordinates communication. So that, my dear friends, is the end of the slide, and I hope you understand the meaning of communication skills. So go through this video again and again. There are some questions you can ask yourself those questions and answer them. So go through this video again and again to understand what exactly the communication skill is. We will have some activities, we will plan some activities in the college so that these points can be put in practice and your communication skill becomes this thing. We can have a public speaking session, we can have a presentation session, we can have a debate session, we can have a good discussion session in the college, so as to improve the communication skill. So remember, communication is not only your words, but your facial expression, your tonality of the voice, so your modulation of the voice, then your body language, your eye movements, so your gestures. So everything comes into this. So that's why it is divided into verbal communication and non-verbal communication, and both are important for effective communication. So thank you, dear friends, for listening for this long time.